through the storms, grant the brothers and oars relief. Forever warm, past the love to the more than me. Born through the storms, on the weather to weave. Waves are roaring, kindred on the sea, sails are soaring free. Waves are roaring, war and revelry, sails are soaring free. Winter's frosted hues, painted Freya's breath, shelter in the world ever blessed. Waves are roaring, kindred on the sea, sails are soaring free. Waves are roaring, war and revelry, sails are soaring free. Skellige winds are wild, a wild, Skellige winds are wild, Skellige winds are wild, a wild, Skellige winds are wild. As the rain it sways in the old monsoon, and the pain it preys on an open wound. It's cold, it's cold, it's cold.
Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy. We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Everyone is Warlocks, Conflux, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign that we're running here on Final Show Films. My name is Jack. I'm your storyteller and dungeon master for this narrative, and joining me today is Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Aurelia Clementine Evans, human archaeologist and Pact of the Blade, Great Old One Warlock.
And Jeremy.
Hello, my name is Jeremy. I'm playing Korishana Thavakri, Kalishtar, Pact of the Chain, tied to a theme that they hate, Warlock.
Yeah, and Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am Zoe, Pact of the Blade, Hex Blade, Half Drow Warlock.
And William.
I'm William, and I'm playing Wotan Saltspray, the dwarven pirate of the Pact of the Compass and the Thing Beneath the Waves.
And John.
I'm John. I'm playing Elishard Amacy, Venom, also Undying Pact of the Host Warlock.
Nikki?
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm playing Diamond Guitar, the Earth Genasi Archfey Pact the Blade Warlock.
And Cody?
I'm Cody. I'm playing Cole, the Shifter Pact of the Chain Warlock.
And our last moments in Conflux were spent in a blind, panicked stampede as an evening of leisure and celebration ended with a coordinated attack on the Hyacinth Quarter in Dancer's Court. The night began as a soiree, allowing the rich, powerful, and connected a chance to meet the Warlocks competing in this cycle's great game, enabling favors, sponsorship, patronage, and the like to be offered and considered. The Hawkside Compact, still based out of Knives Font, made contact with a few significant citizens, some ingratiating, and at least one who is certainly not, a young noble named Anexthar Valadas, who has some history with both Diamond and Elishard. But the festive atmosphere was shattered as a storm of crossbow bolts slammed into the assembled crowd from nearby rooftops, where a large number of archers began targeting the Warlocks specifically, wounding or outright killing a number of them. Chaos broke over the event as some fled and others struck back with whatever magical abilities they still had access to. And now our eyes are once again drawn to the exterior of the Hyacinth Quarter as dim streetlights illuminate the blood-stained cobbles, and Cole falls out of the air down toward a trio of rooftop killers with their weapons aimed at him.
Great.
As you do.
You're tumbling,
Oh, I thought I had already landed.
and you land. You have landed.
All right.
And there are 3 individuals facing you.
I have totally been thinking about this for the past 4 or 5 days. So are they all wearing a similar uniform or?
No uniforms. Everybody's dressed in fairly dark clothing, though. Most of them either boots or light shoes. All of them have some sort of bladed weapon. It's difficult to see in the dim light, even with your dark vision sheathed because of the cloaks that are sort of concealing those slightly. Right now, they all have loaded crossbows out, though.
Okay. Before they unload those on me, is there a chance that I could cast a hypnotic pattern above them?
Absolutely. That is probably your best.
Yeah, it was
Best
between
bet.
Major Image and trying to scare the shit out of them, and hypnotic pattern and just making them stare up the sky like turkeys.
Right. What is
15 wisdom save.
okay? Now, you have landed amidst them. You go to make the attack, and 2 of them just react swiftly, pulling out short swords and slashing at you as you're making the cast.
Okay.
What's your AC?
We have Mage Slayers.
15.
Sorry, 14?
15.
15.
I wonder how you
That's a
train.
miss. And one of them hits for 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
I wonder how you train to be a mage slayer in a society with no mages.
Just get fast at reacting, I guess.
NPC stats.
All right. And they need to make a wisdom save, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. And your DC again is
15.
15. One succeeds, one fails, the other succeeds. One of them sort of just staggers back, the one that was in the midst of still getting a bolt into their bow, and just sort of goes a little slack, eyes vacant, jaw hanging slightly agape as they stare up at now empty space as the pattern flashes and then vanishes immediately.
Yep.
You still have your bonus action and your movement left.
Bonus action shift.
Okay.
Get some desperately needed.
Temporary hit points.
Yep. So that's 9 temporary hit points. And down 1. And yeah, I'm going to book it to the other side of the roof, away from
Okay. They have already used their reactions to attack you when you were making your spell, so as they're recovering from their strikes, you just dash off between them and haul ass. You're about 15 feet away from the nearest one, who is also the slack-jawed idiot currently.
Awesome.
And teetering on the edge of about a 30-foot structure.
How is there a building across from me?
Probably a good 15 feet across.
I don't think I'll be able to. Can I start? Well, is there balconies or anything below? Anything?
Just a couple windows.
Okay. I'll jump and aim for a window.
Jump and aim for a window?
Yes.
All right.
I've already gone through one tonight,
Oh God.
and that was bigger.
Sounds good. All right. You moved at least 10 feet, so you technically qualify for a running start.
Okay.
Looking up the jump rules.
I actually have a thing saved for figuring out jump distances and stuff.
Yeah. What's your strength score?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Sorry, now I'm imagining Cora trying to jump anything.
I am fully aware that Cody has the jump rules saved because in Grand Terra he had boots of striding and springing.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some ridiculous distances you can jump.
How tall are you?
5'7".
5'6". Yep.
5'7".
Yeah. So your long jump with 10 feet is 12 feet horizontally. So you will not. Well, okay. I'll say that there's a little. I was gonna say. I'll say that there's a little bit of carrying. Go ahead and make a acrobatics check. DC is 12. Hey. Okay. So you aim for a window that we will say charitably is open.
Okay. Yeah. Last one was not.
The last one definitely was not. And you just dive for it and manage fairly nimbly. You sort of smack yourself on the windowsill coming through, but you manage to sort of catch yourself with enough arrested momentum to tumble inside. And you are now behind a pair of curtains in a very dark room.
Okay. I'll use any little bit to get up against the side of the window.
And you just pivot to get your back to the wall.
Yep. Follow me through.
Okay, sounds good. Brings us to Elishard.
So suppressing the creature inside at the moment, muttering. You really picked the worst times to start talking to me. And I'm going to hold my action. How did I get a sense for how far away the ones outside the door, the ones that shot me, were?
So you've got about 60 feet of open ground to cover, and then about a 30 to 40 foot building that they seem to be perched on top of.
Okay, so I'm going to gather my things because I think I'm in the tent that has all my gear in it, and basically hold my action to dash for the next time the last of that particular group fires their crossbows. So I'm unless it gets back to my turn and they don't fire, but basically I'm like waiting for them to expend their reactions.
Right, you're waiting for the break in the suppressing fire, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Aurelia, you are out and gone, courtesy of Torvald and his ridiculous calves.
Yep. So we're getting away. I haven't seen have I seen any of those posters that you described last time?
You have been mostly being kind of flung about.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like if you've ever seen the lead guitarist do like a body swirl with the instrument, you've been basically the guitar in this case as Torvald is making his way through. Yeah.
So down, hang up. I need to get this glove off, at least one. Would it be safe to say I'm dressed up, that I have a hairpin, something sharp?
You've got, we can say you have a hairpin, sure.
Okay. get this off of me, and I'm gonna like try and well, I have two. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get one of them off.
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
Because you're not proficient in thieves' tools.
No, I'm not. I am proficient in tinker's tools, though. Would that count for this? Because
absolutely not.
All right. Fine. Natural 20.
Okay. So you deftly, as you begin to start at the seam and then decide, you know what? No. And you flip it over and hit one of the clasps on the back. It's a fairly simple locking mechanism, and you just jam the pin in, fiddle around, find something that has just the faintest amount of give to it, and give it a twist, and it pops part of the lock gate open to where you're able to wriggle that glove off your hand, and you've got a free hand now.
Cheap machinery. Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
That's my action, I'm assuming.
That's your action.
Okay. Do I have anything that's a bonus action? I don't think so. So that's my turn. Or get into an alley with Torvald.
Okay. So you're
out of sight of things.
You're heading for cover.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He sort of chucks the end table off to one side and ushers behind you into an alley, and then sort of just, pushes you up against a wall, but not facing you currently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have one bonus action. I can't see any sign of the people who shot us, anything at all. I'm guessing.
No, he has a pretty clean pair of boots on him, and definitely got you out of visual range from the
Awesome.
attackers.
Yep, that's my turn.
All right. Wotan, you and Thalia.
Yeah, well, so Wotan's last orders to the warlocks in general were, people with detection magic, find your targets. People with bombardment skills, get ready. So he's gonna fulfill that end, and he's gonna use the arcane eye that he's got, and just kind of focus and try and locate the nearest group of archers.
Okay. Now that you've made it outside somewhat, bringing the eye with you, you can manage to see as you push it further. Just off to the left, a knot of about 4 of them on a rooftop. They do not seem to have noticed the eyeball.
Because it's invisible.
Reasons.
That's because it's invisible.
Yes.
So he will sort of, with keeping a notice on it, will look at the nearest warlocks who have their hands free and indicate to where the building, the rooftop is, where the group of archers are at, and they're on the roof right there, and sort of indicate to the nearest warlocks.
Yes. Yay, help actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you indicate the location. You hear one of them chuckle as they have apparently managed to get one of their gloves off, and a red beam of light, just a tiny little bead, arcs up that area.
Beat warlocks.
Exploding into a torrential, horrible ball of fire. And somebody's going to need the shinglers in tomorrow. That much is at least plain. All right. Diamond, you are hand in hand with Cora and Rorik. What are the two of you doing?
I think Rorik is kind of leading us.
Okay, as Cora beats a drum behind.
Run.
It's Cora running. Just they don't run that much.
Cora is playing like the retreat drums just to make sure the
Double
snipers
time,
know
double
who to
time,
follow.
Again, I will point out that our favorite Kalishtar, and I can say that because they're the only Kalishtar we've had, has a -2 to their athletics.
Right.
Well, I mean,
All right.
that's not. We've met another Kalishtar. Like, he could be our favorite.
Did have a mall.
Kalishtar PC.
They did.
Yes.
They did have a really nice weapon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
and the mall. Anyway.
Fancy sword.
Jeremy, we're sorry none of the rest of us have played Kalistar yet. Yes,
No,
Cora is our favorite.
That's fine, because I can legitimately say, without debate, I have played the greatest Kalistar PC in Final Show Films history.
Just you, Grand Terra.
Has anyone else played Half Drow? Because I've played like 3 of them.
I
We're
don't
running,
think so.
Jeremy.
There-
Not Jeremy. We're running, Jack. We're running.
There have been half drow in Final Show Films properties, just not player characters.
Okay.
Diamond's probably gonna like say we need to find cover somewhere.
Yep. Rorik responds, "I'm cover." and just keeps dragging you forward.
That's the
Of course he
weirdest.
says that.
I
That
love Warwick so
that
much.
is the most fightery come on ever. Like we need to get under cover. I'm cover.
Weird flex, but okay.
Or like in Diamond's mind, and it's just curiosity and confusion. It's like, is that what hitting on someone is?
Diamond
I'm
looks
not
really affronted. Like, I hope not.
I'm not experienced in such things, but
Neither am I.
And Rorik is doing that thing where he'll drag you guys up to an intersection, stick his head out, look around, take up a protective posture behind his shield, and wait, sort of usher you guys to make the turn that he's indicating, and then, trail behind a bit, and then whip around, take front point again. And he's basically trying to be a front and rear guard all at the same time, and honestly not doing too bad of a job at it. All right. That brings us back to Cole. No, Zoe.
Yes. Okay. So
You are well beyond any level of the sort of theater of war currently.
if I'm not like hearing people coming in my direction, I'm assuming.
Not all that much, no. The only thing you notice is some semi-distant glow as something fiery happens on a rooftop.
That's fine. I would like to use my interact or whatever to continue futzing with my not quite a disguise.
Okay.
And then I'd like to, understanding I'm trying to keep them out of like obvious visual from the alley entrance, take out my thieves' tools because there's no way I wouldn't have brought them.
Right.
And they're not like a weapon that you check at the door anyways.
Sure.
And just go to town on this lock if I can.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and make a thieves' tools check with dexterity.
Asked us to do not warlocky things. They didn't say anything about criminal things.
Right. Don't use any magic. These ain't magic.
They're not magic, and I didn't use them until the party was over.
Some people would say the party's just getting started. Easily enough, though. Just only a few motions later, and you've released the clasp on one of your gloves.
Okay, just to clarify, one action gets rid of one glove.
One action gets rid of one glove.
Okay.
But you only need one glove to cast, so or one hand to cast.
Also true. You only need
yes, but 2 gloves marks me as a warlock.
It's true.
Okay. Unless there's anything else you want me to roll or do, that's
okay.
What I wanted to do.
All right. Cole, there are definitely a couple crossbow bolts that follow you in.
Is that not Cora next?
Cora and Diamond went on the same turn.
Okay, cool.
Yep. But it's your turn to respond as you see fit.
Okay. I will. So a couple of them did?
Yeah.
Yeah, this dude's still stuck up there. So I'll poke my head out and Eldritch Blast. Back through the window.
Okay. Are you aiming at one of the guys who followed to shoot, or are you aiming at your still incapacitated?
The ones that followed.
Yeah. Okay.
The ones that are actively chasing me.
Right. Fair enough. Okay. Go ahead. Make your attacks.
15 and 14.
Both those miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. They impact, but apparently whatever armor they're wearing is enough to to soften the blow to a point where you feel like you didn't really get all that much done.
Okay. Looking, and am I in like a living room or just somebody's bedroom? Or
go ahead and make a perception check.
okay. I gotta change my perception real quick because I don't currently have my raven. So okay, there it is. 9.
Probably a living room, maybe.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my movement to head towards the other side and go out a door.
Okay. As you turn to go, you hear a "Ah!" and then an impact behind you.
Oh.
Thought I woke up a baby or something. No, somebody tried to jump.
Somebody got thrown off a rooftop, you think.
Oh. Ouch.
Yep. Elishard, there's a regularity to the firing.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really a break. These individuals seem very systematic, and you see just one after another. Every time it looks like a warlock is either exposed or visible, one bolt each time. And you're sort of getting the idea based on both your warder's training and just understanding the layout that you were confronted with on your entry. They're covering the exits and making sure that there aren't any breaks in their ability to respond.
Okay. Well, that changes what I'm going to have to do then. I was going to save this for Vampiric Touch, but I cast Mirror Image instead.
Okay.
I cast Mirror Image.
All right. There's your action. You have several of you.
And I'm going to pull out I'm going to grab I can still fire my crossbow with these gloves on, can't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to, just sort of using the tent as cover for whatever amount of cover it is. I'm going to try to fire a crossbow at these dudes for...
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, I've already used my action. Never mind. I can't.
Yeah, you've already used your action, but you can have it out and readied.
Actually, I'm going to... Yeah, I'm just going to have my crossbow out and prepare to start running when I have the chance.
Okay. All right. Hello. Somebody's trying to speak to me. So Aurelia.
Yep.
You have definitely made it out. Are you trying to get people, I should say, Torvald to head in any particular direction, or?
First I'm gonna cast Sending because we're separated again, and I could try and see what's going on, but I think Aurelia would be thinking more about the fact that she doesn't know where the hell anyone is.
Okay.
And if anyone's okay, because I feel terrible and I am worried.
All right.
So I think she probably Cora, because I know you're familiar with talking in minds, so it won't freak you out too much. Made it out. I'm injured. Torvald is with me. We could head back to the Hawk's Head house, but
And that's where it cuts out.
Okay.
And you can respond to that one.
Yeah. We are also leaving me, Diamond, Rorik. See you there.
Okay. Diamond Rorik.
You could really get under cover. Something a little less
Yes.
open.
I need to get this other glove off. I'm going to head back.
Here, allow me. He whips out a dagger.
Okay.
You're like, they told you to give out give up all your weapons. You definitely didn't stop by the tent. So he's had that hidden around somewhere.
Okay, good.
Like a sim, just pulls it out.
Glad to see someone has some fucking common sense in this party.
I had a weapon. It was hidden in a pocket dimension.
Mine too.
I know I'm being passive aggressive and not acknowledging the actual facts of the situation.
So I have both
And
hands free.
right, he just jabs it right under the strap and
Yep.
slices it right off. You're not sure whether he was a intelligent tactical front thinker or if he just forgot he had this one on him.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
either way, the effect is the
Good.
same.
It's good.
There you are.
Yeah, let's get out. Oh, God, I don't know where anyone else is.
It's been a long time since a lady offered me her glove.
You can keep it.
My, Miss Evans.
We need a coach, a carriage.
Yes, that would be indubitably much better than having to walk all the way back to Dawnbreeze this evening.
Dawnbreeze. God.
And he will head out a little ways down the street.
Yeah.
And then you just hear, you can't make out exactly what he's saying, but there's definitely cheerful shouting happening.
Yep.
And then you hear boot steps again. He pokes his head back around. I've secured us a conveyance.
Perfect. I actually need to get to Knives Font.
Knives Font this time of night. Well, that will be quite an adventure. We shall make sure that they're willing to deposit us that way.
Yes.
And he grabs your arm and marches you back down the street. And there's not the nicest coach, but reasonably.
I was just waiting for Chiswick to be sitting in the driver's seat.
It is not Chiswick. Oh, now, my good man. The lady needs to be deposited in Knives Font, and I'll have none of your cheek about it. Driver sort of grits his teeth.
Just on the edge.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Go on, jump in. Cost you extra, though. Money is no object this evening, my good sir.
Best background feature.
Yep. All right.
And you two are sequestered in a relatively bumpy coach ride that crosses through, heads south through Song Sorrows, and is just crossing that ward towards Knives Font.
Because Early would probably be checking. I'm looking to see, if any of that chaos seems to be following us at all. Also to see if there's any water reaction whatsoever, because shit just went down.
Right. As that happens, as you travel, you kind of glance out the back of your coach every once in a while. You don't see anybody or notice anyone following you.
Mm-hmm.
You make it probably 7 or 8 blocks before the bells start to ring, which would be total maybe 3 or 4 minutes since the attack started.
Okay.
Rolling it back a little bit, Wotan. You've at least got a marginal level of artillery nearby, and they seem to be following your directives.
So first, before anything else, check the aftermath. Who's still standing in that group that just got fireballed, if anyone?
After the fireball recedes, you don't see anybody on that group anymore. Are you just looking around for alternate targets?
Yeah, find new target. Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a perception check then.
Not a disadvantage. 10. Yeah.
You only notice one thing, and that's because it's kind of a flurry of activity. So you had seen Cole dive out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he had gone off northward. You pan the eye kind of over that direction, and there's a rooftop where a woman in heavy plate armor has a great sword and is just going full ham on two guys who have dropped crossbows and are trying to parry her off with short swords.
Okay, so someone's handling those guys.
Yeah. That's pretty much the only thing you see.
Okay. In that
you
case,
look back the other way, and yeah, you're not seeing anybody. Either they're very well hidden, or after their initial ambush, they're starting to bail out and retreat.
yeah. In that case, he's going to start moving the eye around and try and find the next group.
Okay, sounds good. Diamond, do you try and get Rorik to stop and change his tactics at all, or you're muted?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I tug on Rorik and I'm like, we need to head back to Hawkshead. This is not the direction to Hawkshead. It'll take me too long also.
Right. Get one of those things with the animals.
They had palanquins in
Yeah, those are carried by people.
True.
Looks like a main cart, but they pull it with
a horse. It's called a horse. Are there any coaches around?
Give me a perception check.
5.
Not that you can see. Cora, you're there too. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. 12.
You see, so Diamond is looking down the block one way, you look the other direction, and you see a small carriage stop and drop off two passengers that go into that are very drunk, very laughing, and one of them leads the other one into apparently an apartment or something.
Grab forearm, run this way.
Rurik's bringing up the back as he sees what you're pointing towards. Need a ride then?
Yes.
How far are you going?
Words.
Nice font.
Thank you.
I thought that was Cora's choice. Like, you actually want to go there.
It's nice fun.
All right. 2 silver apiece.
I need to borrow 2 silver.
Yes, I can do that. So that's 6. Diamond pulls out her coin purse and counts out some coppers and 5 silver. Sorry, like some pennies and some nickels. I was like, sorry.
5 silver, 10 copper.
Yeah.
It all spends the same. You're fine. Go on, jump in. We'll have you back quick as we can. I'll need cross streets.
Blah and blah.
Okay. Yep. You guys tell him to drop you off at the Hawkshead house, basically.
I like how you say that as if any of us know the cross streets and nice fun.
I think he told us, but we've all forgotten because that was years ago.
Well, yep. No, the Hawkshead out. Well, then, for future reference, should you need it, the Hawkshead house is located in Cat Scratch Alley.
He did tell us. I remember this.
It would be absolutely probably told us. Nobody remembers.
Whenever you say something like that, I groan and immediately throw it out.
Okay. That one's not even a pun.
Isn't it a band reference?
No, I just made up a name for an alley.
Okay. I think we've realized why puns are bad. We reached the point where everything's a pun. So even the things that aren't meant to be puns code as puns.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So Zoe, you have, are you getting your other glove off, I assume?
Yeah, I want to get my other glove off.
All right.
Then
Another
I just
thieves'
have a
tools.
long walk home because I don't have any money.
Okay.
I mean, either a long walk home or if I'm propositioned, that works too.
Either a long walk or a quick murder. One of the two.
I'm gonna murder them. That leaves a trace. I'm pretending to be a hooker. If I'm propositioned, that works.
Yep. Go ahead and roll me your Thieves' Tools check. And then why not a performance check?
Fuck. Can I just take additional time to eventually get it? Because I'm pretty far from all this.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then performance check.
Yep.
No.
Nobody propositions you this evening, unfortunately, but you do manage to get
Ghost
your
of Hedon.
but you do manage to get your other glove off after a few minutes.
Just in the back of your mind, you hear, even though your tits are out, your attitude is still sour.
Someone just tried to murder me.
I feel like it's justified at this point. All
I
right.
just walk by. She looks angry.
Yeah,
not
I
my-
feel like,
He looks angry. That's not my kink.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
but I probably look more like an assassin in an alleyway, and so no one wants to touch any of that.
To be fair, that is some people's kink.
Yeah,
Right.
they're just not
You're
the ones
just
that are
not
out.
in the
They're
right
just
neighborhood.
right. You're right. It's
ruled
just
us
none of them are walking by.
That'll work better when you get closer to knife spawn.
That looks like a person that'll step on me real good.
Long walk home.
All
Cool.
right. Cole, you're in somebody else's house and trying to get out. Yeah?
Yep.
All right. You managed to get to another window on the opposite side.
Jumping out windows has worked so far.
Yeah. No, how far is this an elevated part of the street, or is it?
You're on the second story here, so
Okay. So I'll do the thing where I'll climb out, hang down, and then drop the last 10 feet.
right. Yep. Go ahead and just give me an acrobatics roll then.
All right. 10.
Benjamin, you take the landing.
Yep. You tuck and roll. Manage to impact without too much shock.
And then mask of many faces.
Okay.
Looking like a let's see. An older elven woman.
Okay.
And I'll walk around to the side where I heard somebody fall.
Oh, okay. So you're looping back around.
Yeah, I'm gonna loop back around. I don't look like a warlock now. My glove. I'm a person that's I'm a rubbernecking person. Just like, what's going on out here?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, your gloves would have fallen off when you turned into a bird. So.
No, I think those shifted with me.
Oh.
But yeah, I cut them off anyways, or cut them open anyways.
Yeah,
So.
he had slashed the fingers on him. Okay. So yeah, you come back around and you can just see as you make your way around the building, somebody in a dark cloak kind of gimping off and vanishing down an alley, and then you just hear running feet.
Okay.
As well as a couple of clashes on the rooftop that you had originally jumped off of, more or less directly above you.
Yeah, my spell didn't do that, but is that the one that I have the scent of, or is that one still up on top?
That one's still up top.
Okay. Okay. All right. I don't have anything else I can do as a bonus action. Yeah, because my familiar thing is an action.
Mm-hmm.
How high? Let's see. This only reaches 30 feet. Dang it. I was thinking about possibly looking through the floor with ghostly gaze to see who's up there fighting, but I don't think it'll reach. That's an action as well anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll
Okay.
hang out here for a second and
All
see what
right.
happens.
Well, what happens is, yes, she hits, and no, they don't make their save. You see a flash of light on something metallic, and one of them pinwheels arms backwards and just screams, tumbles, and lands literally on his head. You hear the neck crack with a sickening crunch. This is the one you had the scent of.
Just Wilhelm scream on the way down and then crack.
Yep, and then
I just needed one of them.
Well, he dead now.
Yep.
And then there's just a panicked yell, and you hear somebody leap across, and it sounds like they made it to that 15-foot roof.
right.
And then somebody else stomping around up top. Elishard.
Action dash running towards that building that's 60 feet
Okay.
away.
Yep. You manage to, with your movement and your action, you make it across the open area. Let's see. One of them will get a shot off at you. Just a normal shot, not advantage. What's your AC currently?
12.
You take 6 piercing damage.
Well, let's see, because I have a mirror image.
Oh, well, that's true. Yes. The attack hits. So
The first one,
roll me that D20.
6 or higher, it hits a duplicate. It hits a duplicate.
All right. So yep, there's a shot, and one of your mirror images goes away as just pierces straight through it, ching, and it shatters.
I am now at the wall. How high is this building?
About 35 feet.
Okay.
Woden, are you still just having them target points that you can see?
Yeah, I'm looking for the next group for the artillery.
Okay.
I'm being the spotter.
Yep.
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna wait at this point. Am I?
Okay.
Can I see any warders like approaching? Like, does it seem like the reaction time is normal, slowed?
Reaction time would be normal. You haven't heard a bell yet, but you're guesstimating that one's gonna sound any minute now.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Okay. So Wotan, you start directing their field of fire to the south, which is where most of the attack is still coming from. And Elishard, you guys are pretty much the only two that are still in this all that much. Are you going to try and climb or what?
So do they try to shoot at me from the roof?
Yeah, they'll lean over and edge toward you.
I'm gonna try to. Well, I haven't been injured again, so I need a GM's ruling on this.
Yeah.
So you can relinquish control of your symbiont regardless of your hit point total as a reaction whenever you take damage.
Mm-hmm.
I have taken damage, but not immediately. Do I need to wait until I get hit again, or can I relinquish control?
You would need to wait until you hit again. It's kind of a reaction trigger thing.
And the native ability is just whenever you hit half hit points, it takes control.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. You'll need to roll for one more of your mirror images in this ensuing round, though.
All right. Yeah. So I'm down to. Hang on. Let me see what happens after.
You lost your first one. So...
I lost my first one. So 6 or higher is the first one with 2 duplicates, 8 or higher, so that still hits a duplicate. All right.
So one more of your duplicates catches a crossbow bolt. You're down to 1 duplicate and yourself now.
In that case, I'm actually just going to. I won't be able to get up there under my own power at the moment, so I'm going to fire up with a crossbow.
Okay. They do have half cover against you currently. Since you're firing more or less directly up towards them. But you can go ahead and make your attack with that.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Heyo!
Damn.
Or that much damage.
Okay. Yep. You wait for that individual to lean out, and you just put one right through his forearm. He manages to hang on to his crossbow, but you hear him swear, and yeah, he pulls right back and doesn't even try for the attack he was going to make.
Son of a bitch!
Load it back and wait.
Yep. Yeah, no, you took a decent chunk out of him.
You didn't say nothing about crossbows.
Interestingly enough, the bells start ringing at that point, and nobody leans forward to attack anymore. And Wotan, as you've got your eye up, those bells start ringing, and anybody who was still present and active immediately goes into full retreat. They just drop down off the backs of roofs and that sort of thing and just start running. So they outrun your eye within about 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm listening to see what direction they go in, because I'm right next to the building that they were on.
Give me a perception check.
So once they escape the vision of the crawling eye, Wotan sort of takes his hand away from where it's covering the empty eye socket, and the eye sort of rematerializes in front of his face and slides back into his face, and he brings the eye patch back down as he lets the spell fade, and he looks up at the group. Well, looks like they don't want to tangle with the warders, so we can assume that they're not acting with the law. But we've won the day, lads. They're in full retreat.
There's like kind of a little half-hearted, hey, and then everybody's looking around, and there are bodies and people limping and injured individuals just all over the place. And some of them give you a little bit of a half wave, but immediately start going to look for friends and comrades at this point.
Tend your wounded, count your dead. Anyone who's in good shape and all to themselves, help who you can. We might be in competition, but we're all warlocks.
I got 20 on my perception.
20 on your perception. You're trying to hear the movements of people on top of a roof and a building away. You can detect that they do sort of head off, at least initially, in a more or less eastward direction down the back of this building.
Yeah.
But you lose hearing on them pretty quickly.
That's fine. They went down the east. They went down the eastern side. I'm heading over that way, and I'm going to see if I can find anything to track them with. Or any ability. I'm trying to track where they're going.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
I'm good at survival, but that's a 6.
Yep.
I'm good at survival, but I rolled a 2.
Yep. Yeah, no, you get over there. You can't, at this point, it's anybody's guess whether, because as you get behind this building, you notice that the next one behind it is significantly lower, probably only about half as high. They may have jumped from roof to roof and gone that way, or they may have come all the way down and just run off to try and do it as quickly as possible. But you can't really tell the difference, and no real evidence of where they would have headed.
Best guess, what is
you do, however, notice on the back of this building, one of those handbills posted.
The Death to Warlocks one?
The Death to Warlocks one, yep.
I'm gonna go investigate it.
Okay.
See if there's anything and pull it off the wall and actually go over it.
Right. You go to pull it off the wall. It's pretty well adhered by some sort of flour paste or something. So you have to pull out a blade and sort of shimmy it down the back to get it off intact.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Let's roll higher than a 2 this time, game.
I mean, we can try.
I did. I rolled a 4.
Hey! It's a piece of paper.
Dice curse.
Wotan's going to start moving among the crowd, sort of helping wounded to their feet, helping count the bodies and move the dead, and sort of general purpose. Make himself a known quantity and be present to help everyone who needs it.
Yep. Thalia comes up. She's got a few crossbow bolts in her hand. Can't really tell anything from these. Could buy these in any weapon maker's shop in about 3 different wards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head back to the party and find Wotan. Also, do I think staying here or leaving would be better for us?
Every warlock seems to be of the opinion that getting the fuck out is the best choice at this point.
Yeah. If there's anybody that looks like they need it, I'm going to cast Spare the Dying on them as I go in.
Give me a perception check. Cole, what are you doing?
I'm going to walk up to the now dead dude, and I'm going to pull out the 2 raven coins, put them across his eyes, and I'm going to cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
And you don't look like someone that he should distrust at the moment.
So you are casting a spell, so.
Well, they're not going to see that.
They're dead until the spell's already active.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead. So you place the coins, you roll it over on its back, put the coins on its eyelids, reaching out with the power invested in those and your connection to the Raven Queen. You hear just a rattle and a gurgle. A little extra blood just sort of spills out, and there's a and the corpse twitches slightly.
What are
Seems
you
to
doing?
be.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, what are you doing here? What?
Killing.
Who put you up to that? All in old lady voice that I just can't do.
Give me a deception check.
I have advantage on those because actor.
Heyo.
Love it.
Wow.
Oh,
Double
Two
three.
threes. That's still a 10.
Right.
Still passive.
Bop, 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 bop.
The safety of the city requires it.
How many of you were there?
Three score brothers and sisters here.
Let's see. That's 3.
You've got 2 more questions left.
Yep. How long have you all been planning this? In a wholesome grandma voice.
Since the cycles began.
You all have a headquarters?
Worth a shot.
No. And then there's a and it goes limp again.
I will pick up my coins, look up. Is the whoever was beating on them up there still up there?
You look up into the eyes of a pale-skinned woman, kind of bent down on one knee, just looking at you, watching this entire thing happen. Her hair is a very, very white blonde, and she's sort of leaning on a great sword that seems to have a number of runes carved into the blade. Stands up, turns, and walks away across the rooftop that you had previously been on.
Winari.
Okay. As soon as they walk away, rifle through the pockets.
Okay.
See if you can
Anything
find
they
it.
got on them.
You find 12 crossbow bolts, a very broken crossbow.
Yep.
That kind of landed on that a little bit.
Yeah.
A short sword. He's wearing studded leather armor.
I just bought some.
There, a cloak that's a little weathered, and probably is going to need a little bit of tailoring to make up for what it's been through tonight. A single vial of some sort of liquid.
Okay.
You can go ahead and give me a nature check.
Is it potion or poison?
I thought nature was
It's a poison
Wisdom.
potion.
18.
Potion
This
or
is
poison.
definitely a poison of some sort.
I will stick that in my pocket and make sure not to spill it or break it.
Okay. Yep.
And
Was
I'll
one of the people hit by poison attacks when this started?
Was what?
Sorry, was Cole one of the people hit with poison attacks when this started?
I don't believe so.
no, I think that was
It was me, Aurelia.
I was
Yeah.
going to say Aurelia,
Oh,
I think, was the
yes,
one that caught the
okay.
poison. Yep.
Yep.
mhm.
Never mind.
but I will take the cloak, the short sword, and the poison.
Okay.
I'll leave the bolts.
Okay. He's also got 3 silver.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I figured.
I had a 14 perception to see if anybody needed spare the dying on my way.
You
in.
do find one individual
Uh,
not wearing gloves.
one of the
Looks like wearing some level of aristocratic gear that's just leaned up against a wall, and she's got a crossbow bolt just under the rib cage.
I will.
And the eyes are, and as you walk up to her, you see the head just kind of.
Spare the dying.
Okay.
Not only to help her, but also so I can get some health back.
Okay. So yeah, you reach out and you feel those worms under your skin just sort of swirl together towards the wrist where they stop, and then there's a burst of energy out. And you can feel that balance between life and death suddenly shift back. Her breathing kind of stabilizes, and the arrow that was in her just kind of out. But no encounter, no following spurt of blood like you'd expect. It seems like whatever energy that you pushed into her has held her on this side of that barrier.
Gonna just sort of, if there is there anybody near her, next to her, like that was looking after her, or is she by herself?
No, she was by herself. Yep.
Well, Princess Carrie.
Okay. Where are you taking her?
I'm gonna go find Wotan. And
Okay. So Wotan, Elishard eventually wanders up carrying a woman.
So Wotan,
Unconscious as fuck.
yeah, Wotan's in the middle of helping a warlock to their feet and looks over, sees Elishard carrying someone. Ah, shite. Any warlocks here still healing?
You look around. A couple people look up. Nobody really responds. Couple shrugs.
We can take her with us, but we need to leave. And I'll sort of, as best I can while carrying somebody, sort of indicate my coat pocket where that poster is hanging out. Sort of like turn and like with my elbow indicate it.
Right, like, oh, there's
Like,
a piece of paper sticking out of Elishard's coat pocket.
I'll grab it and take it with.
Right, and so you now, Wotan, are confronted with this handbill for the first time this evening.
Oh yeah, you seen any of these before?
Talk while we move. And I'm going to start leading the two of them out.
No, haven't seen anything like that, but she'll kind of hold her hand out for it.
Offer it.
Cole, as you can see, I assume you're up and
Yeah.
looking around at this point. You see
Yeah.
Wotan and Elishard and Thalia all leaving in a little knot, with Elishard carrying an unconscious woman.
I will catch up to them.
Okay. Are you still Old Lady Elf?
Yep.
Okay.
Until I get close, and that'll be like, "Hey guys," in my voice.
So this this semi-geriatric female elf walks up, and then in Cole's voice, "What's up, guys?"
I flinch slightly. You really need to not do that.
Drop it. Sorry. And then
Oh.
prestidigitation the blood off of the part that I got shot in.
So whoever these people were, they were definitely organized, but moving apparently covert, and they ran when the watch started moving. So they're not working within the law at the very least.
Well, they might be. They might be, but they might be working with them, but just not openly.
And you see Thalia with her fingernail just scrape some of the ink off the paper, stick it in her mouth. They were using fade ink as well.
Hey, someone rolled higher than a 2 on their investigate.
She rolled a 4.
But she's also a rogue.
Plus 10.
Yeah.
Do I know what fade ink is?
Give me a history check.
I'll make that history check. Oh, well, I mean,
It's 12.
Is it something that I just know because I might have used it before?
Not necessarily.
Okay. So
You still need to make the roll for this one.
8. Yay.
Yeah, you haven't heard of it
I
before.
have a +4 to my history.
Colin and Elishard, however, you guys are aware of it, and Thalia explains. Yeah, you use it, you write something down, but it doesn't show up for about 2-3 hours. So you can pass things off as blank pieces of paper and whatnot, or alterations. And it's good for maybe some hidden messages, that kind of thing.
Do I know what?
Yeah. And she scrapes off a little bit more. Stick your tongue out, love.
Right.
She just tabs it onto just right in the center of your mouth. And it's got this weird salty fruit sort of taste. Like a very heavily salted apple.
Mm.
Very distinctive flavor.
Well, no,
Make it out some of those weird plants that you got growing in Northbourne Forest.
Do I know, at the very least, do I know any gangs in Stormways that use that?
As far as that goes, you are not familiar with anybody in particular that it's associated with. Okay. It's one of those things that you can pick up if you know who to talk to, find an apothecary or somebody in the know.
Yeah.
And it has a level of use. Most people aren't like, most people when they're first confronted with it generally are like, wouldn't you rather have something that is written and then vanishes afterwards rather than doesn't look like anything and then eventually shows up?
Yeah.
But it does have a niche level of application for both normal and illicit functions.
College pranks.
College pranks are good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And throughout this whole conversation, I've been leading where I can assume the least heavy warder response will be coming from.
Okay.
Just from my knowledge of warder tactics, like here's where there's always a hole. We're heading that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dancer's Court, it's a little harder because there's not a specific warder's tower headquarters. They're sort of deployed in a more distributed manner, but you do your best and you manage to avoid, for the most part, anybody that would be as part of deployed as part of a response team. Are you guys looking for a coach at all, or just walking?
After we're outside the grip of the warders, a coach.
5-10 minutes walk.
As we're walking, Wotan will just sort of prestidigitation, clean the blood and the grime off of everyone, so they don't look like they were just in a firefight.
Okay.
Also, while we're walking, I'll fill everybody in. So I talked to one of them.
While he was still alive?
No. Somebody threw him off the roof that I was on. That was very helpful.
Was that woman with the great sword on the roof?
Yeah, I think so. She thinks I'm an old elf lady, so that's cool.
There was a woman with a greatsword on a roof?
There was. I saw her while I was looking for targets. She seemed like she had a grudge either against those archers or was looking to help Warlocks, so I wasn't about to complain.
There wasn't a woman with a greatsword at the party.
I don't think so, no.
Well, magic,
It
guys. You have
matters.
to
Zoe has conjured a great sword before.
Yeah,
Well, no,
a
no,
really
yeah,
regular.
Not that you think this is Zoe, but like, just,
I saw
you know.
I saw who it was. It wasn't Zoe, but yeah.
Yeah, and you're an old elf lady.
Yeah, exactly. So it could have been Zoe. Secretly saved me. That's where they went. So apparently there was about 70 of them at this whole event, and they've been planning it since the cycles began. So I'm guessing that this is a I don't know. Did anything happen like this in the last games?
Do you know if anything like this happened in previous games?
You've never heard of this happening in previous games now.
Could they have been lying to you?
I didn't ask. I had only a few questions, and that wasn't going to be one.
Are you lying to me?
You're not going to lie to your grandma.
I don't know that they would have answered honestly if you asked.
They
But-
did.
When you ask one of those weirdo questions.
They saw me. I talked to them and I shift back into old elf lady.
Right,
This is
right,
they.
right.
I mean, they might lie
He
to
said that
anyone,
they were-
but
He said that they were doing it for the safety of the city.
Well, yeah,
So-
if they've figured out what the goal of the game is, then anyone who would rather have the city continue on as it is would want to kill all of us.
Yeah.
Well, still, we at the very least know there's an organization, that they have a symbol, I say indicating to the thing that Thalia is playing with.
Yeah.
And that they at least aren't openly working with warders.
you know the problem with that philosophy is I'm pretty certain that the powers that be would just find more warlocks.
I mean, yeah, but they don't necessarily know that.
You guys do eventually find a carriage who wants to charge you 3 silvers a head to get you back to Knives Fund.
Can I
is-
haggle that?
Is
I'm
there
an ear
a
here.
Could try.
is there a medical facility in Knives Font like I didn't think
No.
so, but
I
am
mean,
thinking-
you can find a street surgeon kind of
yeah,
thing.
no, I'd actually
Nothing that's affiliated with the Healers Guild or anything
you know,
like that.
I'd actually want to go back to I'd actually want to take a carriage to
I-
Stormways first for me. at
I
least,
have a
separately.
healer's kit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna deliver this person to professionals.
I mean, do we want to, be present so that we can figure out who she is and why she was getting shot specifically? Because they didn't seem to be aiming for anyone who wasn't a warlock.
I think that's the reason right there. Just hand gloves.
He's not wearing the gloves.
She's not wearing the gloves.
Oh, she's not. Oh,
No.
I mean, neither. I indicate to Cole. Neither is Cole, and I indicate my own half torn off glove. That doesn't mean anything.
oh, that's true.
They were still in the party, and I don't think I saw them doing anything. But we may want to, be present so that we can have a conversation with them afterwards.
Honestly, I was just gonna get them to a healer and let the healers take care of them. You can tell Elishard's you can tell at this point that Elishard had no ulterior motive other than someone was hurt and needed help and didn't think anything
Aw.
beyond that.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Shark's gonna die so quick.
Is that,
No, because Venom takes care of his hosts, sort of, arguably, depending on your feelings on that system.
Something absolute carnage. Something.
Carnage and Venom are different fucking people.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the current Marvel Comics crossover called Absolute Carnage.
is it persuasion to haggle with the coach driver?
It would be persuasion.
16.
He's kind of sticking to it.
Asshole.
So how many of us are there?
3 silver ahead. That's 4 of us counting the injured person. So that's
That's 5 of you counting the injured person because Thalia's.
oh yeah, so that's 15 silver. So yeah, gold and a half.
I give 2 gold to the driver.
Okay.
He gives 5 silver back.
Let's get to a healer's guild.
Yeah, 2 healers. Guild.
All right,
In-
so you
in-
give
in
him-
Stormways
You give
particular.
directions to a healer in Stormways, and he drives up there, and you guys are deposited. Although the coach driver for that price will wait and then take you to wherever your ultimate destination is.
Yeah.
And you are dumped out more or less on the pavement in front of a wooden door in a small house, probably 2 stories tall, single lamp hung outside the front door.
I would have, if possible, I would have directed us to a place where they would have recognized, where the healers would recognize me, if that's possible.
Yeah, we'll say you've spent enough time being a career cop in Stormways, somebody that you're familiar with.
Yeah, and so up to the door and sort of kick knocking on it.
Thump thump thump, and then eventually the door comes open. There's an older gentleman, white mutton chops, hair kind of combed back or would be, except he's got a nightcap on, holding a candle on a little candlestick.
Sorry.
Yes, what's going on? Oh, good heavens, Elishard. What
So-
brings you out at this hour of the night?
Sorry to
dear.
intrude so late, but we have someone who's in desperate need of medical
Well,
attention.
come in. And friends of yours as well?
Yes.
All right, well, my name's Albrecht. You can come on in. I'll get you set.
I will carry the unconscious person to wherever I need to carry them.
Albrecht directs you to the interior and there's a slight examination room that he sort of fumbles for a key and unlocks and pushes it open. Lay her down on the table here. Let's see what's happened to her.
Lay her
Some
down.
injuries down.
What's happened to her has been she's been hit with a crossbow.
Well, that much is obvious. All right, give me some room. Master Dwarf, there's a couple of lamps over there in the corner. I'll need light for this.
Walk over,
He
grab
hands
some
you the
lamps.
candlestick.
I will
The candlestick.
I will just sort of while helping him set her down. We cleaned her up and kept stabilized her as best as possible, but everything else is as is.
Well, let's see if we can bring her around at least. And once we've got this bandaged up, he takes about 10, 20 minutes to sort of get her secured, make sure that there's padding and dressings on her wound, then comes over, grabs a small tin box and opens it up with some smelling salts and sort of waves it under her nose. All right, come around then, love. And then with a gasp and a sneeze, she's, what's happened?
You all right, lass?
Where I was...
You're in Stormways.
Where am-
You're in Stormways at a healer's house.
You saved me, I suppose, then.
Well, we're not exactly in the business of letting people die when they've been caught in the crossfire.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
My name's I'm Darina of the Lord Finnegan's family.
Does that mean anything to me?
Give me a history check.
I'll roll that history. Hopefully roll all right. Come on. Stop being cursed,
18.
guys. 21, yeah.
History, the only role I can roll well on.
Despite having a 0 modifier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine
no,
with zero.
the Finnegans are a Stormways dwelling family of the aristocracy.
Okay.
Yep. Mhm.
I am Elishard Amacy, a retired warder. Hang on, what was my official title? I've forgotten.
Inspector, detective inspector.
Retired. Elishard Amacy, detective inspector of the Stormways warder, retired.
Thank you, officer.
Would you like assistance getting home?
I'm feeling a bit, and Albrecht steps in. No, the lady's had quite an experience, and she'll need to spend the night under observation. Ma'am, My name is Dr. Albrecht, and I completely lost his last name. There it is. Dr. Albrecht Gandron. I've a resting room here for patients that are required, but here on the Red Row, you're familiar with where we are in Stormways? She thinks for a minute and nods. You'll kindly spend the night in this house. My housemaid will attend you for anything that you might need, and we'll send a runner out to alert your family of your location so they can come collect you in the morning. Very well. Yes, that seems wise. And thank you. Thank you all very much.
You're quite welcome. And then I will shake the hand of the doctor. Thank you very much, doctor. And I'm going to start heading away.
If you two want to head back, I'll take a swim. I'm going to wait here and have a bit of a conversation first, though.
You sure?
Who is Wotan indicating he wants a conversation with?
The girl.
Okay. Dr. Gandron looks at you. Well, I'll be present for that, and no more than 5 minutes. This young lady needs rest.
Of course. I don't intend to have any intense conversations.
What did you need to speak to me about? And she kind of looks you up and down with a little bit of a skeptical...
I was just curious what brought you to the situation where things went south.
I was attending the party at the Hyacinth Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I had gotten invitations, and it sounded fun.
Oh. I imagine normally it would have been fun. I'm sorry things went poorly.
You're one of the Warlocks yourself, aren't you?
That I am.
Well, thank you for helping. I must have simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm sorry. It's a bit strange. A couple of people took an arrow because they were standing in front of someone, but you were off in the corner. What happened?
The attack started, and I was just so terrified I ran for the first door that I could, and something hit me, and I fell down and didn't know what to do. I just crawled as far as I could, and then I just couldn't anymore.
I'm sorry to ask you to recall painful moments. Was there someone behind you, or were you mostly clear?
There were so many people trying to get out. If the shot wasn't meant for me, it was probably just meant for someone nearby.
From my understanding of the night, the people who decided to assail us were mostly aiming for Warlocks. Any civilians caught seemed to be stray bolts, but sorry you had such an unfortunate experience, lass.
I suppose I'm just lucky that there was someone there to make sure I made it out.
Well,
if there's ever anything we can do for you...
Just understand it's not the Warlocks that are trying to kill civilians.
Of course.
The game calls for radical change, but it doesn't call for mass slaughter.
I hope not. All right then, lad. Now that's enough.
Get some rest.
Good night.
Stand up. Nod at the doctor. Make sure she's all right. We don't need to lose another innocent person tonight.
More of this going around, is it?
Well, let's just say there's some bad folks who think that crossbows on rooftops are a good answer to political disagreement.
Yeah. Always some sort of muckrake about like that.
Keep her safe.
Will do.
He'll make his way out and take the river back.
Okay.
We didn't. At least I didn't leave. I was waiting for Wotan outside.
Okay.
Yeah, would we have had a short rest on the way here and while we were waiting? Or we
Not quite.
rested?
No,
Okay.
not a
Alright.
short rest yet.
Out there with Thalia, I'm assuming is still with us.
Yes.
Out there with Thalia, looking at the poster. Have you ever seen this? You haven't seen anything like this before, but do you know anybody that does this kind of thing, indicating the symbology and the fade use of faded ink?
Except for the fade ink, never seen that symbol before. Handwriting strokes seem pretty innocuous. Not exactly a design I'm particularly familiar with, or at least not one that's focused in any particular arena.
We're gonna have to figure out who these people are, I assume, before we can do much more.
Aye, you might want to get on that. I'll get my ears to the ground and see what I can find for you.
I'll also be beating the bushes in the way that I can.
Different bushes than mine, bud.
Well, yes. He's got a crossbow bolt and he's trying to pick off the other glove still while talking.
Elishard, come here, and I pull up my thieves' tools and I take it off.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead and make your thieves' tools check.
He's got one glove that's been torn to shreds.
It's gonna take a while. I still have my gloves on. I should have taken mine off first.
You pull out your thieves' tools. Thalia just reaches over. Hang on a minute here. Yeah.
Yep. We know you're good, Thalia.
Right, yeah. And she doesn't even have you let go. She just kind of nudges the back ends while you're still holding it, and it just pops open. There you are.
Thank you. Use that hand to sort of tear off the other one, and I'll help Cody just basically help Cole break the locks on his.
No, we've switched places. Now I'm in the game and Cole is out here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Again?
Yep, again.
And then
All
when
right.
Morton comes back
So
out.
anything anybody else is handling before you guys get home for the evening?
Yeah.
Wotan, you come out like halfway into the getting the gloves off sequence.
Yeah, and Wotan walks out and sort of looks at the group, sort of looks around his jacket. Damn it, I left my hand axe and my dagger at the party.
I didn't bring any of my stuff other than this. I knew weapons weren't going to be allowed.
I mean, it's an axe and a dagger. I'm not overly concerned
I reach
about
onto my
it.
belt, grab a mace, and hold it out towards you.
I'm not any good with a mace. I'm sorry.
I pull out the short sword from the dead guy and I hold that out.
Not any good with that either.
A mace.
Okay.
A mace is a simple weapon, William. You can use it.
Well, when we get to the house, Aurelia has something she needs to do, but
Okay.
I don't know if that's getting rolled into or if that's a separate thing.
No, you can throw that in now.
Okay, when I get to the house, because Aurelia hasn't seen the poster, has no idea what's going on, knows that 3 people have made it out at least, but nothing about anyone else, and she's paranoid as all get out.
Okay.
So, Torvald, go in, clear the room ahead of me. I need to yell if there's an octopus in a tank on the 2nd floor. We need to get up there. Because I don't know, if they've gotten to the house yet or anything.
So you
freaking out.
look at him as he looks at you, here's what you have to say, and you're pretty sure you can see most of those details just kind of cascade off of his brain like rain off of an oil slicker, but the go in and clear the room one seems to stick.
Okay.
Very well then. Stand back. Goes up, picks up his foot, kicks the door poof, all the way through.
Gonna have to fix the hinge. Okay.
Comes in. Ah! There's a monster!
Oh no! No!
And,
No!
and you hear swing, a rapier
No!
getting drawn.
In his brain. No.
What?
No.
What's wrong? No, there's a
Not
green.
not
It's-
that.
Wait,
That
I've seen that before.
that's Bubbles. Keep going up. 2nd floor. Come on.
As
You
Aurelia
hear-
almost
you hear-
got Bubbles killed.
you hear boots tromping upstairs. There's a pause. Then boots tromping back downstairs. There's a cephalopod in a tank.
Good. Okay. God, okay. Great. Thank you for the assistance.
It's nice to finally see where you live, Miss Evans.
Yes. Great.
Sheathes his rapier again. You hear another carriage making its way towards the alley.
Get back. I'm like have the door closed, like trying to see out. I'm just paranoid.
You're doing the door crack thing?
Yep.
Okay. You see a carriage stop, door opens, Rorik jumps out, holds out a hand to help Diamond and Cora back down.
Slowly open the door. Aurelia is covered in blood.
It really is covered in blood.
Looks bad.
It looks real bad. Looks real bad.
Yeah.
But Cora and Diamond, you've arrived home.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That was, of course, mental. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah,
Aurelia-
she replies out loud because
No,
hey,
no, fair.
Aurelia, can you make me a just a quick dexterity save for me?
You know, for being the person who stayed in the middle of the war zone, Wotan is completely uninjured.
9.
Diamond hugs you and it catches you a little off guard.
Ow! 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 There's a crossbow bolt still.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Ow!
I would assume that to mean that you are not okay. If
I'm
you have a crossbow bolt in
fine.
your head. Right? Not in you, not your head.
Crossbow bolt in your head.
Why is it still in you?
That was a crossbow bolt as I am going to do the side of in my head. And so words came out of my mouth that were not thought into.
Yeah.
But they were fantastic.
Yeah. It still is. And fine. Constance is fine. Do you know where anyone else is?
No.
Okay.
Somewhere between here, the party, and neither, probably.
Somewhere.
Somewhere in Conflux.
That was the
Okay.
most tactful way Cora could think of to say they're either somewhere between here and the party or
We're
dead.
Yeah,
Or they're
yeah.
dead.
I'm going to try and get in touch with who would she go for? Wotan's a hero idiot. Zoe is who knows where and currently Aurelia has feelings about that, so no. Cole,
Let's hear it. What's wrong?
he's pretty bouncy, but also 18. Elishard, you get ascending.
All right. So Elishard, we're gonna say still on the carriage ride back.
We're at Diamond, Cora, Rorik, and I are at the Hawkshead house. It seems clear and safe. Do you know
And that's where it
when
cuts
anyone
off.
else is?
And safe is
That's where it
cut
ends.
off.
Yeah.
No, I think you catch the "Do you know where anyone else?"
Okay.
at least.
Yeah.
So back in your head, we all made it out. Zoe, I'm not sure where Zoe went, but Zoe was not amongst. We all made it out. I'm not sure where Zoe went. Wotan and Cole and Thalia are with me en route.
Okay. I sit on a chair, which may or may not have a leg. I realize suddenly, but I
Make
sit
another
on
dexterity save.
The chair collapses underneath you.
Yeah.
Bubbles ate the leg.
A chair. Natural 20.
So you sit down on it. As it cracks underneath you, you just drop a hand and don't really go down all that far.
Ow!
And slowly stand back up.
Really,
Yes.
you have a piece of wood and metal inside of you that we need to get out of you.
Yep. I have a healer's kit. It's in the backpack. I don't want to twist to take it out, but it's back
It's
there.
this.
You had somebody with you the whole time who could have taken it out.
I might have needed it.
This one speaks truth, you know. I could have very easily handled that sort of situation. I was
might have
unaware that we were supplied with
Constance.
such resources. What was that, Aurelia?
I might have needed it for Constance.
Is Constance one of her pets?
Sister.
To Cora.
long story.
Oh, well, if your sister's been injured, we should definitely attend to that as quickly as possible as well.
No, she's upstairs. It's fine.
I didn't see her when I went upstairs.
Oh my
Hang on a
God.
moment. Let me check again. Stomp, 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 stomp.
Do heal
Miss Evans, it seems that your sister may have stepped out for the evening.
Cora's now trying to figure out if healer kits work on octopi.
They do not.
I was gonna say.
They do not remotely.
So
Listen.
Corey is just sort of looking at Aurelia with this confused expression.
Listen, it's not rational entirely.
All right. If anybody wants to
I
make a medicine check using the healer's kit for Aurelia specifically.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
If you nat one on me, I'm going to kill you.
Give advantage.
No, you won't.
No,
You'll be dead.
As I say, if
No,
they got one
My
on
next
you, they will
character
kill you.
will Kill you.
So that's a 7. I'm going to dark one's own luck, which I never did last game.
Roll it.
Okay.
Get that D10.
That's an 11.
Inspiration
No.
as well?
Wounds are bad. I will go ahead and use an inspiration, just to make sure to get it over the edge. That's what 1d.
Another D8.
1d8.
There we go. That's like
Hey, look at
Nice.
that. 19. You are able to, with a level of skill and using the supplies, extract the crossbow bolt. Aurelia, make a constitution save.
Yep. 20. My
You
one
don't
and
pass
only-
out, but everything goes very white and you get a little dizzy.
Yep.
But you have plenty of supplies
you get
there,
the staticky
Cora,
tunnel
to
vision.
stanch the blood, put a poultice on with some herbs that have some level of stimulant to the regenerative processes, make sure everything is clean. As you pull the bolt out as well, there's a little bit of black ooze that drips off of it.
That's not good.
It was poisoned.
Yes, that's usually what that means.
Yep. It looks like whatever necrosis happened, though, has already taken place to the tissue.
Okay.
So it's just going to be rest and healing overnight, and she'll probably be pretty stiff for a few days, but more or less functional.
This really is pretty functional.
Could fit so many crossbow bolts in this. Slaps me.
I was gonna say,
Slaps me from Aurelia.
this Aurelia can fit.
Wow.
Can fit so many crossbow bolts in this warlock.
Thanks.
That's what constitution scores are for warlocks. How many
Yes.
crossbow bolts fit inside of you?
Yeah.
Help me get upstairs. Please.
Diamond helps her upstairs.
Actually, yes.
All right.
Yep.
Cora's like noodle arms.
Cora's like, all right, I'll help you get upstairs.
Thorvald,
You
get
can do
Rorik.
it.
Thorvald, get to the other side.
Cora has inherited Hedon's role of going, I have noodly arms.
All right. But yes, you are able to be gotten upstairs.
Yep.
The
Check
rest of the
up-
group is probably with the time needed for a crossbow bolt extraction and bandaging and whatnot. Everybody but Zoe is back by now.
Just because I haven't gotten to do anything in character, Zoe is getting a little bit winded because this is a really long walk, even for someone with a decent athletics.
It's a pretty long walk.
Wotan walks in, opens the door. So this is the Hawkshead house, Thalia. This is where we've been hiding out.
We used to have a chair and tables, but we've lost those.
They're gone now.
Well, I've seen worse. I've seen better.
We kicked the group of bandits out, so we've definitely seen better.
That explains the smell.
No, I mean, also watch the oozling.
What is...
That's
Aye.
Bubbles.
I'm guessing either the nerd or
It's the
the young
Genasi.
lady from...
It's the
What?
Genasi.
Aye, yeah. She was my second guess.
So looking around, is anyone still? Is Cora the only person still on the first floor, or?
Nope, Torvald is there. Ah! More people have returned. Welcome back.
Master Torvald.
I've put the kettle on. And you actually do hear a whistling from the other room.
We
He
didn't
can
have
make tea, but he can't clean his fucking room.
Oil water.
we didn't have a stove.
Yeah, you did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The place is a functional house. It's got
It
the
is a house.
necessary living equipment. It just wasn't on the battle mat coming in because it wasn't relevant.
Because the only thing I remember being in the house was a bunch of boxes and stairs and a couple beds.
Yeah, there was no one to murder in the kitchen, so it wasn't relevant to our interests.
I just like the idea. It's like we didn't have a stove. I know.
No, Electra just never been to.
I mean, you have
I
at least
boiled it out of force of will and enthusiasm.
I mean, there's a forge somewhere because Aurelia's been doing metalworking.
No, I like the idea. You walk into the kitchen. There's a bonfire with a kettle over top and it's all inside.
Just a fucking open campfire.
Yeah.
Oh god. Wonderful.
I'm gonna go upstairs and check on the people who are not immediately present on the first floor.
Yeah.
I see we all made it
So
back.
you've made it upstairs, Aurelia. What are you doing when you get there?
I'm going to
Liar.
the tank and making and trying. I've been talking to her regularly. Has there been any progress whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
Okay, I try it anyway because
There's a
nothing-
brain in there.
Something.
Not one that has a language, apparently, though.
but she looks fine. Nothing looks like
I mean,
off or
She looks a reasonably healthy octopus.
Yep. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Right. I turn around, leaning on the tank. Not if that is a structural problem. Aurelia has built this thing.
You can put a little weight on it.
Okay.
This is the part where I realize somehow none of us have ever taken Dispel Magic.
I have.
Okay. I'm just assuming it didn't work.
I don't think you've tried it yet.
I have not tried. I could try that.
Also, none of us have taken the Eldritch Invocation that allows you to cast Polymorph.
Yeah.
No. I do try to spell magic now, suddenly, that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Because I have a spell left. Well, no, actually, I don't. Because I used 2 sendings. Never mind, I can't do it yet.
Yep, can't do it yet.
I walk into the room.
I'll do it.
An hour.
Yep.
See
Give me
Aurelia
this.
leaning bloodily against the thing.
Yep.
You should lay down.
Yeah. I will.
Yelled from down below. Is she not laying down?
No, she's standing up. Kind of. Mostly. About 80%.
Lay down.
I will sit down. Fine.
I just spent good time fixing you. Lay down or I tie you to the bed.
Ooh.
Fine.
Pinky.
Not when someone's seriously injured.
No.
No, but Aurelia doesn't know that.
Ignorance. This does not excuse poor behavior.
Yeah. So Aurelia lays down.
Yep. I vomited blood on me. And then all hell broke loose. I got out as fast as I could. What else happened? Where is Zoe?
I'll pull up a chair and sit down next to wherever Aurelia is laying
Yep.
down. I did not see Zoe at all in any of the conflict or in the aftermath, so I don't know where she is, but I am confident she made it out unharmed. There were sniper positions set up on the buildings outside, all around the place. Anyone who tried to walk out conventionally got shot, including myself. He says, indicating the hole in his coat where there was a crossbow bolt at one point in time. We managed to fight them off for the most part until the water bells started sounding, at which point they retreated. They also seemed to be part of a larger organization that had posted up at least one, I'm assuming more than one, flyer on various alleyways that said "Death to Warlocks" and had a fun little symbol on it.
What's the symbol?
I'll describe it.
I mean, you still have the paper.
I thought Thalia has it. I mean, if I took it back from Thalia, then yeah. Then
I was gonna say she would have given it back to you guys.
Then I'll show it to.
Okay. Sorry, I need to check because I had a vision from my patron about someone who may have done this to my sister. That doesn't ring a bell at all. Nope. Okay.
But we drove them off. We saved as many people as we could. Got a young Stormways noble out and back into a healer in Stormways before we came here, which is why it took us so long to get home.
That'll be useful.
Cole interrogated a corpse.
Of course. Yep, makes sense.
Learned a few things. There was 70 of them there that night. Was it 70 was the number? Yeah. There were 70 of them surrounding us and attacking. They were an organized force that has been operating for some amount of time. They indicated since the cycles began, take that with as many grains of salt as you feel you need.
Does that ring any bells for me?
You can just roll me a straight intelligence check if you want.
Sure. 14.
I mean, it's a kind of a standard, for eons, for a great time, blah, blah, blah. It's not at all specific and probably not strictly accurate.
Yep.
You would say.
Mm-hmm.
Since the cycles began is essentially since the dawn of time.
Right.
So, possibly different from, some sort of assassin's guild or something. There was poison in the bolt that hit me.
How are you feeling?
Fine.
Like I've been poisoned, you idiot.
There are many different responses to that statement.
Cora did a healer's kit. It's fine.
Okay.
Did a healer's kit.
Yes. So their grammar's going.
Poison.
She's stressed and injured and hurting. It's okay.
Poison has reached her brain.
But
We may need to move or do something.
Certainly.
People got away.
But whatever we need to do can wait until after we have all had some rest, including you.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I will head back downstairs and regurgitate that information again for Cora and Diamond's benefit.
Diamond changed and is not with the group. She is on the roof. Not asleep. Definitely not asleep.
That's Torvald.
Oh, that's Torvald. Bless him.
Yep. Torvald has wrapped himself in his cloak and is asleep in a corner. Just kind of
Is the kettle still going?
Oh, kettle is definitely still going.
I take
Oh, it's gonna boil down.
the
Okay.
kettle
this is-
off the thing.
That man is an incredible warrior and also an enormous doofus.
Yeah.
Elishard's opinion of Torvald.
It's like,
Talia, do you know what kind of this is? I know this is a poison, but I got it off of one of the guys that was shooting at us. Do you know what kind? I'll
Hey,
hand
let
it
me
to
have a
you.
look there. Oh,
I've always been keen with poisons.
got yourself a nice sample of
I
serpent.
was gonna say I was looking through the poisoner's kit stuff because I have that. If she has the proficiency, she's supposed to be able to.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice sample of serpent poison you got here. That'll cause a bite for sure.
Any idea what kind of snake in any regions that they're common in?
Well, I mean, most of the time you'll find them out in the forests for the most part. Down breeze, underbow.
Everything seems to be pointing back to the forest if there is some kind of place where they gather.
I mean, considering that the interior has never been fully mapped and pretty decent sized. Bigger than you'd expect from taking a trip around the edge of it.
after
There's
explaining,
worse places to hide out.
after regurgitating information for Cora's benefit, I began looking around, trying to find where Diamond went, so that Diamond can also be informed.
Okay. Takes you a little while to find her, but she's on the roof.
Diamond,
Yeah.
come over, sit down. How you feeling?
I'm alive. Just now that I'm not running for my life, a lot of things are catching up to me, and I just need a minute.
He sort of nods. Just looks out. Well, how far across Nizefont can we see from here? By the way.
Oh, good quarter mile at least.
Okay, sort of looking out across Nizefont. Doesn't say anything else. Just sort of sits there.
Give me a perception check, Elishard.
Do I see a half-naked drow wandering back? 7. Nope.
Nope, you don't really see anything particular out there. And then something kind of nudges your hand.
I look at my hand.
There is a daffodil blossom just kind of laying there against your glove. Or bare hand. I don't know what sort of hand gear he's wearing right now.
Bare hand at the moment. I pick it up.
Kind of right in between you and Diamond from where you're sitting. You pick it up.
Yeah.
Diamond, you glance over and you see him holding a daffodil bloom.
Can't hear you, Nikki.
Yeah, sorry. Diamond takes the flower, and she kind of twirls it around a little bit, and Elishard, did you already know about Enixthar and probably what he's done, and did you see him at the party?
I did.
It took a year for me to not feel like I had to look over my shoulder in case he would show up again. And the one night I was having fun and happy and with my friends, and honestly, probably in the safest place I could have been, he was there. And he probably knows I'm a warlock.
He definitely knows I'm a warlock. I told you what happened on my investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I was investigating him, I was attacked by other warlocks and killed. That's how I am now the creature that I am. He thought I was dead. And I will admit that I got really angry when I saw him. So I cut in between him and his dance partner, took him out onto the dance floor, and took my mask off so he could get a nice close-up look at his handiwork. I'm pretty certain he wet himself before I let him go.
I'm glad you had that moment.
Diamond can sort of tell that Elishard doesn't typically hold, like, anger. And he's still really angry right now.
Elishard, I'm not okay. I'm very glad that you had your moment
I'm not.
to scare him. And I'm glad that you've instilled a fear into him. It took me a year. He almost took away my mom's shop, and it would have been my fault. And fuck, I can summon a sword now. I can do magic. And the first thing I do when I see him is I run.
I understand. I wasn't telling you that to... I was just trying to.
I know.
For what it's worth. I think you're pretty awesome. And sure, you ran away. But you at least can understand yourself, I think, is the phrase. I saw him and I just... There's a creature inside me that I'm trying to live with. And for the briefest of moments, it felt like we were one and the same. And that scared me more than anything else, I think.
Yeah, you're a lot scarier now. But I know it's not your fault.
I'm a monster now.
We all have the capacity to be monsters, let's be real.
No. I don't die like normal people. I devour the life essence of others. I'm pretty certain I'm the definition of a monster.
I don't
Go ahead and give me a perception check, both of you.
14.
4.
That time I rolled a 10.
Diamond, you look over and for a minute there, you see something crawl across the surface of one of Elishard's eyes as he's looking at you. Elishard, there's a brief motion a little ways away. And now is when you see the half-naked half-drow.
I do want to clarify that I would have put my top back
I
on.
figured you probably had.
Okay.
I assumed you probably had.
Put my top on and it not look like I'm wearing an expensive dress.
Yep.
Because I am actually fairly trained in, being in various places.
Knowing how to avoid detection and observation when you need to.
Also knowing how not to get mugged. It looks really bad if your assassins get mugged.
I look sort of slightly past Diamond. There's Zoe.
Do I see them at this point?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
16, yeah, with your improved dark vision, with your dark vision and that sort of thing, yeah, there's two people sitting on top of the Hawkshead house as you round the corner and start heading down the alley.
Let me check my... have I technically had a short rest or no?
Not with the long exertion of having to walk all the way back through, unfortunately, no.
That's reasonable. I can't just teleport up to Diamond immediately.
No, unfortunately not.
A wave.
Before we go back down, do you want to tell people about Enixthar, or do you want me to? Or not at all?
About your experiences with him. That's fine. I will tell them about my experiences when I'm ready. Probably tonight.
That's fair. I'm sorry. And sort of with that period, he just sort of climbs back down off the roof.
As Zoe walks in, Wotan is probably sitting in the main room having tea with Thalia since Torvald put the tea on and then fell asleep.
Or just watching.
Zoe has not the most amazing athletics. It's not Cora bad, but it's not fighter. So there's a very exhausted half-drow. Opens the door.
Welcome back.
Everyone else make it?
Yep. All of us are back. Some of us a little worse for wear, but everyone's alive.
Good. I'm fine, just didn't have fare for a carriage.
Doom, 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 doom. Elishard coming back down.
Yep.
So.
Because there is no chairs and table left, I'm entirely justified in taking up the brooder position and leaning against the wall.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's 3/4 of a chair left.
No.
There's kindling.
And I will regurgitate the information that I've regurgitated twice before for Zoe.
I saw more of those posters.
All in all, we have more information now. We should do something about this organization.
Well, all the signs that we've got from the gear they're using, from the snake venom to the fade ink, all sources from the forest.
So either they're based there or they have someone that can sell them stuff from there.
Aye.
Do I know how exclusive those products are?
Give me a history check.
Oh, can it be a poisoner's tech?
That's more if you're identifying the substance, not if you're going into the marketability thereof.
Dear history.
Zoe failed.
Zoe failed
That's
history.
not a bad roll-ish.
Yep. You would, if you were looking to get information on the availability of poisons, you feel like you would probably have to reach out to one of your contacts on that.
That's reasonable. Or our landlords.
Landlords would fall under the purview of contacts in this case. Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of landlords, when is rent due?
A couple days from now.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm a little curious how looks to them, you may know how exclusive the products are. If they're very exclusive, better odds they're actually from there. If they're easy enough to get a hold of, they may have just been the right tools for the job. But no, you're right.
I mean, I've used that sort of poison a few times. It's as long as you know the right people to go to.
Jack, do I have any experience with that poison?
You know that it's generally not something that normal law-abiding people have any access to.
Yeah.
The exception of the occasional apothecary who's experimenting on can you heal poison with poison, which is a scientific thing that has occurred to a couple of them.
More curious about the, like, you know, in the various investigations that I've run, did I ever run down a poison dealer that dealt with this particular kind of thing or anything like that?
You can go ahead and give me a history check as well.
I have rolled nothing but 18s for my history checks, except for 1 or 2 of them. That's an 18.
Yep. There have been a few times that you've had to interact with cases involving poison, usually murders, assassinations, that kind of thing. Once or twice a smuggling that was utilizing those sort of substances as the type of contraband or economic options for what they were trying to make money on. Snake venom is sort of the cheddar cheese of venoms. You can find it wherever, and it usually works for whatever you need.
Yeah. At the very least, from my experience, snake venom isn't all that exclusive. It's one of the more commonly used. At least, I don't know if I run into more people that use it than you guys would, necessarily by the differences in our particular trades, but at the very least, it is used all over the place.
Yeah. Well, aside from the materials being sourced from the forest, and I imagine fading's a little bit harder to come by.
It's not harder to come by. It's just less people use it. Most people don't see the point.
But other than that, the forest is also an ideal place to hide, considering.
Yeah, no, it's still worth checking out. But
it's worth checking out. I'm not disagreeing. Admittedly, my surface education is not as expansive as yours, Woden, but it's a difficult place to search, as I understand it.
Can we get the surface map up again?
The what?
It's the map of the city.
Yeah.
Aye, it is a little difficult to search, which is part of why people would want to make their base there.
I mean, it's not surprising. If they are something that's existed for a long time, in this case, the city is unlikely to hunt them down for hunting warlocks. And is potentially as good a place as any to break the cycle or something, if that's their goal. If they are actually just city affiliated or affiliated with some person with a grudge, again, it's an obvious target if you're someone familiar with the history of the game.
Where is this forest at, Jack?
Which one are you talking
The
about?
one the
Fading
Fade
is
Ink
usually sourced from.
Yeah.
The Fade Ink, they said, was sourced from the Northbourne Woodlands, which is up in Dawnbreeze.
Okay, it's in Dawnbreeze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the forest where Hedon is buried.
Yes. That aside, Aurelia suggested, and I will pass along since she's resting, that we might want to move headquarters.
That seems reasonable. I did mention to, admittedly, other warlocks that I was from Knives Font, but I didn't mention more. It's very possible more was divulged.
Oh, speaking of Knives Font in general, possible sponsor for our compact, someone who might be able to get us things, someone who might be able to lend us some extra power. Had a conversation with someone who runs some of the Durgar guilds while we were at the party, who was hanging around. As I try and pull up the chat entry, I need my notes. Party notebook. Goras and Karag. Leader of the Deep Guilds in Knives Font.
That and its description ring a bell for me, Jack.
The what are you trying to see rings a bell? Just the name, or
the name? How big a deal this person is or isn't? I trust one's judgment, but
yeah, your knowledge of crime in Conflux, the leader of the Knives Font Deep Guilds is definitely not an insignificant person. That is somebody with some solid pull for sure.
And
well, that's some good news. Anything specific they want from us?
Well, after the brief conversation at which I, may have shared the story of us preventing his district from being flooded, which would have been a damper on his business, we have a meeting to see what kind of business he might have for Warlocks and what kind of help he might be able to give Warlocks on the 2nd of the next month.
That's good news. I still want, this doesn't preclude the Deep Guilds in any way, I still need as an individual warlock, but think it is valuable to our collective effort to rally the houses, get my position, all of that. But honestly, I think that's the leader. If we can get him on side as a sponsor or even just as an ally, that's a really good fit. But unless, perhaps this is something best discussed with everyone here, unless there is something mandating we remain here, it does seem reasonable that if our landlords do not object, I wasn't there for the initial dealing, I believe. that we fulfill whatever responsibilities we have to them, and perhaps they can find new tenants upcoming.
Seems fair. We should probably find a new place to stay so that we can just walk out. And also, I'll need to, Thalia, if you could assist me. I need to hit the streets at some point and figure out where to find Karag, because I'm pretty certain that was part of the challenge of trying to get this deal, is figuring out where to find him.
The old "you have to find me if you want to come to the meeting" hoop to jump through.
Aye.
Shite.
If no one feels, because I agree that we should probably think about moving places at the very least. At the very least, now that we have distinct knowledge that there is some sort of organization / cult out to kill all warlocks, moving from the place where we've been for a while and potentially not staying in the same place for very long is probably a good idea.
Especially because we are constantly announcing ourselves as the thing we hang over our door.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happened at the party, to be fair, but it's not a bad thing to have a name.
Well, I said, moving around is one
Our
thing.
name on our door is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Moving around is one thing. Knives Font is probably the best district to stay safe, though. So if we want to move around within Knives Font, that might be a good idea. Because Knives Font is difficult for warders who are going to start taking offense to warlocks soon, and possibly these people to really get a foothold in.
You're not wrong, but there's also some potential. Sorry, Jeremy, were you?
I do have something to say, but no, I have not spoken up yet. You're good.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Do your thing.
I think there's also some potential value in not scattering, but also finding a few. This is not my area. Yeah, gesturing to the pirates. Hideaways is that might be suited to us individually if we do need to at some point bunker down when we don't have a place that's suited to 8 people, a slime, and an octopus. Am I counting that right?
Oh, yeah. Do you own that sea shanty that I first met you in?
That was a squatter shack.
Still.
I mean, if the Lottias wants to up and try to camp out in the fens for however long, I'm not going to stop you.
I would point out that unless I have severely missed something, we don't know where these people are more likely or less likely to be.
Correct.
I
That's
don't
not an
disagree.
argument,
I just
right?
think moving might.
Yes, I agree with that. I actually agree. We should staying in Nice Font is probably the best idea. I would argue it would be. I don't know if we have the resources. I certainly do not, as you all are aware, because I owe you all money. But if we have the resources, it would not be a bad idea to establish places in multiple districts.
Some of us have places we can go in other districts, but I'm not certain if everyone would fit in them.
Oh, yeah, I need to rebuild the fleet.
A few more vessels would certainly come in handy. And for that, you might want to go to the fens.
How much of the old crew still alive? Is it just the two of us?
Love, you were there. You know what I had hanging over my head. I killed them all.
Damn it.
Aye. We can cast about for a new crew, though. There's
They
a
were
couple
good.
of Fenmen that I still have contacts with.
There were good men in that crew. Damn it, they'd have been useful.
Regardless of which of how we're going to proceed, we are all tired, and most of us are injured.
One looks.
I don't think I am the right person to bring it up to everyone else, but it seems tactical to me. Perhaps I am just not being particularly empathetic, to encourage everyone to have a place that's not their home that they definitely could share with another of us, to go if they can't go to our rendezvous.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes absolute sense.
Everyone should have a bullet hole or two. Yes.
For now, let's
I
rest.
do, but not everyone's
Yeah.
me.
For
I mean,
now-
my bullet hole is the bottom of the river if I really need it.
That's also a reasonable choice.
For now, let's all rest, and I think we should start having a watch even while we're here.
Agreed.
Someone to stay up on
I'm
the roof for a
completely
while.
uninjured, so I can take first.
As am I.
also uninjured.
Head girl
Let me
be
go.
out tonight too.
Let me go. Update Aurelia and Diamond, and then whoever wants to take first watch. Basically, I feel the rooftop is a fairly good place with a fairly wide open view of the district. You can see for about a quarter mile in every direction. So
To inform Aurelia, she will not be doing watch because she is injured.
I will inform Aurelia that she will not be doing watch because she is injured.
One roof, one door, or
I think one roof and someone sleeping against the door should be enough for. Because if someone kicks open the door, that person will definitely be woken up.
okay.
And then somebody on the roof. To
As
keep a
you
lookout.
glance over at the door, Elishard,
It's broken.
you notice that the hinges have sort of been roughly beaten back into shape, but it looks a little.
Ah, shite. Let me fix that. And
If you could work on the door, Wotan, while I go.
Yeah, I
Try and
was
fix the
going
door.
to say, as you look over the door, you realize that it's open and there are 12 assassins standing there that have been listening this whole time.
Yeah.
So we hate to interrupt.
No,
but,
does look like
hello.
Kill you? Death to warlocks and all that?
We have our torches and pitchforks ready whenever you are.
don't
Didn't want to
don't-
interrupt.
Wotan is
Look,
proficient in
we
Smith.
thought you might kill each other because you were trying to plan.
Wotan's proficient in Smith tools, so he'll do what he can on fixing the door.
So
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a smithing check, then.
What attribute?
Intelligence, honestly, on this one.
uh,
14.
14. Yeah, good enough. You can get the door back into functioning and boltable.
so first I'll go up to Aurelia, see if she's even still awake.
I have been trying to stay awake. I've been trying. If I've had enough time
Make
to
a
get a rest.
Constitution save.
Fuck. Okay.
Disadvantage.
God damn it! Really?
You've had a long ass day.
You were the most injured of us all.
10?
Nope, you're asleep.
Shit.
Open the door, hear snoring, close it quietly. Then I'll head back up to the roof. Diamond's
You
still
guys
there.
will get your long rests if I have to fucking force you to do it with dice rolls.
What happens when you make an entire group that only rely, their class features only rely on.
on short rests, right?
Also, now you know how
All
Zoe
the
feels
time.
because she is the one who almost goes down every single fight,
Yep.
which is why Aurelia doesn't think she's good at teamwork.
Climb back up onto the roof. Is Diamond still up there?
Diamond's still up there.
Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
So we just talked about all the things and what we're going to do. The idea at the moment, once everyone gets together, we'll talk about it again, but is we're probably going to start looking for places to go that aren't here. But in the meantime, while we're here, we think it's a good idea to have a watch, so that we're rotating watch from up here and in the living room, so that we're not caught off guard. I can't hear what you're saying.
I can watch up here for a little bit.
You sure? Zoe's volunteered for first watch, so
I'm still not
keyed up.
tired yet.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let them know. And close the roof hatch. Or whatever it is.
You can just climb up through a window.
I like to think that it's like a little trapdoor in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little trapdoor.
Head back down. Diamond's volunteered for first watch on the roof. She just wants some time to herself, so
There.
I
Cora,
will.
do you? Oh,
Oh,
I'll sit down here against the door.
I'll take the morning watch if no one objects to that.
We'll
I'll
take
join
the
you.
other part of that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait. We both
I'll-
said we would, and then just
yeah.
said okay.
I'll,
So
I'll take it.
one of you can do second with me, and one of you can do third with
Elishard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do the second one with Zoe then, because I'm out for.
We didn't hear you, Jeremy.
Yeah, we didn't hear if you said second or not. So
I did.
Okay, I'll go with
Sorry.
Elishard. I'll
Okay.
take.
Right.
So,
Cora's second watch.
Because I'm gonna before I go to bed.
I like that both of the people that volunteered for first watch got on second watch.
I'll also stay down here. So, if anything comes to the door,
I'm going to rest one of my eyes, and the other one's going to go for the walk. Morton says he sort of sits down and leans up against the door, and
Just
sort of.
be sure you actually sleep when you're not on watch.
That's the plan. And Wilton lifts the eye patch, which sort of just reveals the milky blind eye, which then slides out of his head and then vanishes.
So for Jack's edification, first watch we've got Diamond on the roof and Wotan at the door. Second watch we've got Zoe on the roof.
Whichever Cora would prefer, Zoe's fine with the.
Cora will take the roof.
Cora on the roof, Zoe at the door. Third watch, Cole on the roof.
Yeah.
And Elishard at the door.
Okay.
And also, we have a bubbles guard.
We do indeed.
We do have a news guard.
A bubbles.
I made a
Does have a
save
small
for
knife.
Cole. I made a Constitution save for Cole because he just watched Wotan's eye schlorp out of his head, and he doesn't throw up. He's seen some nasty things, but no. But before that,
it's just the Neversoft logo for a second, and then it vanishes.
Yeah. He's gonna cast locate creature and fly around for a couple hours and then come back.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
98.
Nothing this evening. You cover a good bit more territory, trying to sort of sequence out and not overlap too much with other places that you've checked before. Nothing pings this evening, though.
All right. Go back and go to sleep until it's time for watch. I'll leave Edgar out on the roof as well,
Yeah.
along with Jinx. More eyes never hurts.
Yep.
They can wake and alert people.
Cool. But other than that, everybody gets a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Following morning, you guys all arise. The fire has burned low. The house is cool. But you guys are refreshed, rested. No disturbances manifested during the evening watching hours. And you guys are able to emerge ready to go the next day. Spell slots, hit points, all that sort of thing intact and at full.
Aurelia would need to, because she was thinking about it while trying to not fall asleep. But so it's just, this is how she works. Has to try to spell magic.
Okay.
Just to see.
Make a charisma check.
Okay.
Roll over a 19. Come on. You can do it.
Just a straight check, not a save.
Just straight charisma.
16.
Oh.
Can I give my
You
inspiration?
cast the
to add
spell.
a die to
No,
that?
not on these. You cast the spell. And you can feel it colliding with some sort of enchantment over that. There's magic at work here that you're trying to push yours into to overcome. But it's too much.
Can I
Too
tell?
strong.
can I tell anything at all about what is affecting her based
Dispel
on
magic doesn't give you any information. It just
I have
You want to use which site?
yeah, Eldritch Sight at the same time. That
Or
doesn't
yeah,
even
Eldritch
spell
Sight.
yeah, detect magic while I'm doing this. If I can feel like that I'm gonna
Okay. As you're going to activate your detect magic while casting your dispel magic?
Yes.
Okay.
Dispel magic is not a concentration, so
No, it's not. It's just an action.
yeah.
So you watch the abjuration coalesce in your own hand and then collide with whatever this effect is that's got Constance in its grip. And you see it hit the transmutative nature of the spell on Constance right now, and just sort of wisp around it. It's almost like watching an octopus try and get a grip on a rock or something that's just either too smooth, too big, or too dense for it to actually move, and the energies are colliding there, but they don't find any faults, any weaknesses in this enchantment, and eventually dissipates, having had no effect.
One more time.
One more try.
What is I could, but I don't know what we're doing this morning.
For the next month, Aurelia has no spells because every morning she's casting dispel magic twice.
Listen.
She casts dispel magic twice, sits down for an hour. Cast dispel magic twice more,
Yeah.
sits down for another hour.
It just becomes her nightly ritual before
At
bed to
some
try and
point, her
spell it.
patron is just like, no, stop wasting my time.
Patron
I'm
actually just
still-
shows up in front of you like, stop!
But your patron is an unknowable other entity, so it just drives her insane.
Okay, that is also fair.
But it's already started. Listen.
I feel like in this case, the unknowable patron has actually been the one driven to the edge of sanity by the constant
Hey.
completely throws
Stop
the
beating
curtain
your head
back.
in.
It's like,
God
stop,
damn it, stop.
please. It doesn't work.
And we just find Aurelia like just completely vacant and drooling in a corner for the rest of time.
Don't be mean, but maybe.
Aurelia just makes it her nightly ritual to try and dispel that before bed.
That will be the nightly ritual.
Welcome to the club. High five.
Yeah. Fuck. Who's VTG or TVG or whatever that is? Spreading your stupid weapon. Okay.
It's an off-brand K-pop band.
Off-brand block. It's a Block B cover band.
So if anyone comes into the room, Aurelia's standing there still in it's all like dried out now. The gown, because she hasn't taken it off.
Nope, you went to sleep
Just
in your
fell
formal.
asleep, muttering.
Cole
Over
help
the
with
shoulder,
that.
Probably ask Cora. You said you'd looked at Aurelia's wounds.
Yeah, Cora would have gone to check at some point since
Yeah.
they were the one that did the initial.
Hmm.
You feel the responsibility. Aurelia,
Yeah.
how are you feeling?
Great.
They say expecting a sarcastic answer and getting one.
Feel fine. I don't need a healer.
Is Aurelia flipping the pin in game?
Yes.
Well, I should check just to make sure.
Fine.
Check the bandages. Check
Yep.
and see
Here.
what's healed up.
Right. Yeah. It's fine.
All right. It looks remarkably well. Now for the other part of healing.
You're gonna talk about therapy.
Love of how
Do I look
unhealthy
like
it
a
really
therapist?
is.
You're talking in my brain currently.
You're not wrong. I simply asked if you thought I looked like a therapist. I was curious.
I mean, everything else, no.
Wait, therapist talk in your brain?
I'm just, my brain is stuck on the Sean Connery line from SNL Celebrity Jeopardy, and I'm trying to muscle through that.
I don't know what this is. Okay.
I'll take the rapist for 600.
That's therapist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to therapize you.
Okay. Good.
That said,
Verb.
you're clearly not well.
I'm doing as well as I can right now.
What can be done to help to make you to facilitate being more well?
A lot of a lot of things need to change, but goodness. I
Let me rephrase. In this moment, to not that this is the only thing that is important about it, but it's something that has some level of importance to you and in general. What can be done right now to get you to a more functional state? The long-term things we can address long-term.
coffee, food,
Doable.
a bath.
Doable.
Is Torvald still here?
Probably.
Okay.
I haven't checked. I was up on the roof and then I went to bed.
You can hear him snoring downstairs still.
Oh, it carries. Okay,
Yeah,
now
okay,
that's
yep.
what that sound is.
He seems to have gotten a little better with his
Okay.
respiration. He's not
That's
actively snoring, but
That's
yes,
good.
he is still asleep downstairs if anybody cares to check.
I asked Torvald to talk to Chiswick to possibly get someone to help out with my dad at home. So that's one thing.
Okay.
I also need to make headway on this. And I point towards the tank.
Right.
I've been stalling and she's gotten worse since we came back from the Underdark. It probably happened while we were gone. I got a message from my patron that it's always vague. It always doesn't make sense, but I will sketch out the symbol that it had given me. So it's V and then T and G, like a triangle shape. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's connected to any of this or what, but there's a powerful spell on there. Someone in this city had magic before the game started.
Arcana, history, anything.
That would be a history check if you're trying to come up with
computers.
Yeah, stamina plus computers. Yeah, absolutely. Difficulty 9.
Valkyrie, the next generation.
Okay, Arcana.
Stamina and Computers difficulty 9 is what you get when you play ET on the Atari 2600.
Yep.
Or when you're marathoning World of Warcraft.
That's not great.
Um,
You know what? Fuck it. I know it's early in the day, but
I'm surprised I was the one who was going for the dirty joke.
17. That's not bad.
17.
That's less computer use and more just stamina.
It's pretty rare that that after the game concludes, any of the Warlocks are they have a very strong tendency to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
not
the things that they leave behind may not.
right. Sometimes they leave behind items that have a level of magic. You guys actually have rumors of at least 3 of those.
Mhm.
And Croman Garish being a notable exception, one of the Warlocks who solo triumphed in their great game and then remained around for a good 10 years until dying in a fight with a dragon.
He soloed the Conflux raid.
They soloed the Conflux
They
raid, but
soloed
yes,
the
right.
Conflux
Yep. And then died to a world boss later on.
Right.
Yeah. But they killed the world boss at the same time, so
Game about the respawn mechanics.
Yep. No
was,
respawn
yeah.
on that one. It was
it was a damage over time effect. So on one of them, so managed to kill them both.
Yep.
It's the worst too because you don't get the drops. Anyway,
exactly.
More dots.
I mean, technically, Croman Garish was the drop. You know exactly where Croman Garish's fall is referenced because they sunk their blade into the heart of an ancient dragon and rode him down to street level and died in the crash.
Fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Croman Garish dropped off the dragon.
Is the sword still there?
Nobody's seen the sword in quite some time.
I mean, obviously, it's it's probably some kind of remnant if that's the case.
What do you mean a remnant?
Something left.
Like the cup. But that's useless. Already checked that.
I mean, you say useless. I say formed a religious cult around it, so there was some use to it.
Useless. That is.
I'm saying if your patron left you this message, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works for the rest of you. So I'm not. I assume that means it's something important. And I would assume that would mean that this is not useless.
Yeah.
It's something to look at.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
All right. So that's one. We will go down and talk to Torvald in a minute. I will get you food. You deal with the other part.
Yep.
And then you will be functional.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
All right.
And then you will be functional.
So you will go off looking for a bath, basically, earlier.
Yep.
Okay.
Clean off.
Give me a perception check.
She's covered in someone else's blood.
Yes, she is.
And
her own.
Yep. Just a lot of things.
We have to go somewhere else for a bath, right? There's no bath
Perception.
in the house.
I mean, you can do like a little like basin bath here, but if you're looking for like an actual bath,
know.
yeah, that'd be a couple blocks down.
She wants an actual bath.
Once
Splurge for it.
once Cora woke up and other people were showing signs of waking up, Elishard left to go find like a public bath or something.
Yeah, it's a couple blocks down.
Yeah. 17.
Okay. Which hand is Aurelia's dominant casting hand?
Right.
She's right-handed?
Yep.
Okay. You go to the baths, you pay your 5 coppers.
Mhm.
You get a tub and some very cheap soap and a couple towels laid out.
Mm-hmm.
You get in and you start scrubbing down.
Yep.
And it's about halfway through that you notice this finger on your right hand.
What finger is that? I cannot
Your
tell.
ring finger on your right hand.
I missaw that briefly.
Yep. You've grown an octopus sucker on the pad.
Bitch, excuse?
Can you grab things with it?
I plunge it into the water and try and I want the room is spinning. I need to touch a wall or a side of something. This is a tub.
Okay, so you grab onto the side of the tub.
Yeah.
And your hand just right through it, and you are spinning in a void, naked, of course, because you're bathing. It sucks you in, warm, wet, like tissue, almost living tissue, and then you're cartwheeling through inky blackness, dots of stars kind of spinning around you, distant, remote from anything else, just emptiness on all sides, in all directions. You come to a slow halt as whatever your momentum is gradually decelerates, and you're just floating in space.
I begin to scream.
You open your mouth.
Yes.
The scream erupts. You can feel the vocal cords vibrating. There's no sound. And then you're back in the tub.
Probably. Yeah. Pull out the hand.
Staring at your little octopus sucker on the end of
there.
your finger. Oh yeah, definitely still there.
I finish and I go out and get gloves.
Okay. Gloves will cost you 1 silver.
Okay. She comes back, having composed herself to something.
Torvald has sprung for breakfast for everybody.
He doesn't know what he's gotten himself
Sprung up for breakfast or paid money for breakfast?
Paid money for breakfast.
Thank you. I was confused.
Both sprung up and paid.
Wotan Thalia leaves fairly early, mentioning that she's going to go looking into both information on the attack as well as crew/vessels and get back to you with some details on that if there are any to be had.
Wotan's got to take a look around for what's his face.
Aurelia has to say. At the party last night, I set up a meeting with, if she's still alive, who was it? What was her name? I don't remember.
Dorf.
Gatdorf.
Lady
Zella Gatdorf.
Baron Gatdorf. I didn't get her first name.
Okay.
Baron Gatdorf of the Weapons Foundry. It's on the 4th, midday. I'm planning on going to sell my weapon design. That will get us a lot of gold. Or, other possibility, we might be able to use that to kickstart our part of this stupid revolution.
Oh, that's appropriate because I've got a similar meeting on the 2nd.
Who's yours with?
Gorazin Karag, leader of the Deep Guild in Knives Font.
I recommend neither of you go alone. I don't think either of you were planning to, but
No.
given we know people were being targeted, coordination could have been overheard.
Yes. Definitely. Actually, I got his name because he got introduced to me. Some guy named Valadas.
Yeah. About that. He's the reason I got killed.
Oh. Okay.
Is this someone who needs to be killed now?
That sounds like the case.
My instinct is yes, but I don't trust my instincts in regards to that particular person at the moment.
I mean,
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but just
I was investigating him.
Sorry.
I was investigating him for a variety of reasons. He has extensive criminal activity that I have been able to link to him, to his person, throughout Stormways. And as I was going to, I believe it actually was a Gatdorf warehouse, a Gatdorf and Chamberlain warehouse, to look into some leads, I was ambushed by a group of warlocks that apparently is under his payroll and killed.
That was the part that if he has a compact he's working with, I think it's safe to say, given that they killed a member of our compact, we're not allies.
No.
And they might be worth targeting through him, or he's worth targeting through them.
He's a warlock as well.
Oh.
He had gloves on.
Oh, then there's
Who?
Valadas, I thought. Anaxar?
No.
Didn't? Oh,
No,
okay. I
definitely
misunderstood.
did not.
Okay, I
I was gonna
misunderstood.
say my note said
Sorry.
definitely as a
He
note.
had 3 masked warlocks who were standing with him.
Got it. Okay, I misunderstood that part. That's me.
Well, my personal instinct, that is not the same as your instinct, so I don't know if that makes you trust it more, is that anyone who tried to kill me, and especially if they succeeded, should probably be dead.
Before they do it again.
Yeah.
Well, he knows I'm alive. I confirmed.
Which means he'll try again.
I also sent him. I made it very clear that his first attempt to kill me didn't work.
The problem with that is that you might have scared him now, but given enough time, that fear will turn into I need to kill him before he kills me. So we need to kill him before he kills you.
clearly more than likely the response will be, I need to send more people.
Yep.
And more people. Until at one point there's an entire district coming after us.
I would like to, before we actually... Your call, Elishard. Clearly this is your guy. I'd like to get a little more info on where he is, especially if he knows you're alive. I don't like the idea of walking in unprepared.
Yes.
But it sounds like he needs to be taken out of the equation, probably killed.
I know he lived, at least at the time, in Stormways.
What kind of things were you investigating him for?
Pull up my character sheet real quick.
It would be a lot easier for them if they had an assassin warehouse that we were working with.
Arson, murder, jaywalking.
And tax fraud. That's the one you get.
Yep, get him in the bookkeeping.
So Jack, I'm gonna need you to fill me in, because all I wrote for my thing was false claims, as well as a suspicion of a dozen or more illegal activities that have been uncovered since the investigation started.
Yeah. Primarily fraud and blackmail.
Yeah. Primarily fraud and blackmail.
If Diamond's down there, which she is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she is. He tried to get my family. He tried to get our merchant's license revoked.
Specifically, your stepfather's guild membership.
Sort of indicate towards Diamond, that's actually how I first got onto the case.
So this person's fucked
Okay,
with two people in our compact. They need to die.
Well, I was going to go, okay, Diamond, you also get a vote on whether or not we kill this guy. Are you okay with that? But Woden has a different approach that I am also not, I am honestly not opposed to.
I don't want him to exist anymore. But I'm also concerned for selfish reasons. I'm concerned about my parents and what the backlash of him disappearing would do.
Well, if he was the one calling the shots, not a lot. If there's no one above him to take vengeance,
he could have contingencies. This may sound selfish, and I understand that. But if there are people, it sounds like there are a few, including this man, that we need taken out quietly in ways that don't backlash on us. My heritage is the ability to get that done much more efficiently.
And yes, my abilities also lend themselves to.
Oh, I was talking about how I am the queen of, or the princess of
assassin houses, yes.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. I
specifically
also
about
am
the
the
assassination
kind of person that can do that.
Yes. I think the smart way to handle this would be people who are specifically not Diamond or Elishard.
And I brought this up last night. I think probably that we need to lay low and get out of here, because that attack could very easily be traced back to this house, and those crossbowmen could find us.
Yes, we're talking. We spoke last night about
Thank you.
about moving.
This might require a sleight of hand check. Zoe's trying to very subtly motion Cora psychics.
Okay.
Yep. Give me a sleight of hand check.
So
everybody,
pretty obviously tapped her head.
So a couple people see
Zoe doesn't
Zoe
fidget, so it's really obvious when she thinks to fidget.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like the idea of wave, pointed head.
Art.
Look, Zoe's trying to not have Cora experience the I give you a look that says a thing.
Right. No, which is much appreciated because those looks don't actually say things. I give you a look that says.
Okay, so everyone sees Zoe fidget, which is odd because Zoe doesn't fidget, and it's also a sign the group has used in that.
Yes. Yes.
The thing I brought up, it's your call.
Which things?
For Jeremy's benefit, Zoe had mentioned feeling like people should have a place that's not their family to go to, that might be their own or a few of us.
No, yes, okay.
But thought that she was the wrong person to say that. Sorry.
Okay. I'll insight check this if I want because it's not entirely clear to me. But are you saying that Zoe is leaving the decision of whether to bring that up into Cora's hand?
Yes. There's probably also some subtext. Cora's reasonably insightful, and Zoe's not hiding this. It is also your call if you want if you want to tell someone else to bring it up. I just don't think that I'm the right person,
Okay.
was sort of what was said last night. So presumably it's still the case.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll bring it up. They will basically present exactly as it
Previously
was
stated.
presented. Yes.
Yep. So
Yeah.
Cora references also having some, unique hiding spots for when
Yeah.
things get dicey. Might not be a bad idea. You can share them with people, but something a little less easily traced to the individuals who will be hiding there, i.e. not your old parents' bedroom for you.
Rude. I feel called out right now.
You are definitely being called out right now by the GM, probably not by Cora, though.
And Woden reiterates,
You're not
like
the only one.
the
3 of
bottom
us
of
have
the
parents'
river for
bedrooms.
me, because I can breathe underwater, so I can just take a dive, literally.
Yes. No. Finding safe houses, smaller safe houses, would be a good idea.
Yes.
I'm not. Well, no, I do have some ideas, but all my ideas are bad.
And with that statement, as you guys continue your planning processes, we are going to close for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gotta break the stranglehold. I have sealed myself, I have cried my tears, now I steel myself.